The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Well, it's time for a fact that makes your brain go. 8% of people in Chicago always think it's acceptable to steal this from a restaurant, and a lot of our server people are waiting on pins and needles. I think some of them know, like, I had to tell Kenzie during the break. She couldn't contain herself
I know.
about wanting to know because she worked at Famous Dave's for how many years were you there?
Oh, geez. Over 5.
Okay.
Because I started as a hostess.
Right.
So I started at 14 or 15, and I was paid 22-ish when I left.
Yeah. It's a long run.
21. I was 21 when I left.
It's a veteran.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
So you got a Rolex when you quit.
Would have been nice. All I got was my wooden pig name tag. I was going to take it home. They're like, you can keep it. Thank you.
So 8% of people say it's always acceptable to take home the pen your server gives you to sign the check.
Oh, that's so annoying.
That's a big deal then, right?
Well, you actually, need them because you have a bunch of bills
Or I
and people
guess-
are always asking. No one has a pen on them.
What I meant is people do it. They do take them.
Yes, they take them. And it's really frustrating because it's like, do you actually need that in this very moment? Because, I'm kind of using it.
Yeah.
And it's mine. So I used to get obnoxious pens, ones with big furry balls on top of them, or the rubber band pen, a huge crazy top, or with flowers, because it would be obvious you're walking out with my pen. It should be embarrassing. You stole my specialty pen.
Yeah, I'm not taking a flower
They
pen.
were the jumbo ones. I would get the really big ones that you
Yeah.
could buy novelty. I always had wacky pens because I got so sick of people stealing my pens.
That's a good idea, by the way. I never needed a pen that bad. I don't know why people do it. And then there always is one that doesn't work. You have to say, I can't get another pen. This one doesn't work.
Oh, that one's humiliating.
Oh, God.
Because that always happens when the service isn't great, and then you got to flag them down for another pen. That's a whole other ordeal.
Yeah.
Well, they would have good pens if people stopped stealing them.
That's what I'm saying. They run out of the good pens.
Yeah.
So stop stealing them. The number one stealer of pens, I'm surprised by this, is actually Gen Z men. Case, that's your people.
Well,
We were entitled to everything.
Pens.
This is mine.
Society would actually be better if they followed our direction.
Well, let's tell
thieves.
let's tell you I'm Gen Z. Steal pens, get their college wiped out, their college debt. That's about it. That's both of it.
I have to defend the pen stealers, and it's not necessarily that I want to defend the actions that they're doing, but whenever you're in a scenario, and more often than not, this is at a bank, but there's every once in a while you run into a pen that's on a chain.
Yeah.
You know those?
Yep.
Whenever I run into that, I immediately think, oh, what are we in a communist country? I can't have this pen? What the hell?
Yeah, because you can't have things that don't belong to you.
But it's a pen. It's like the water cycle. Pens just appear and then they evaporate. Then you get another
they
one.
appear for you because you keep stealing them.
I know, it's awesome.
They don't appear for everybody else who keeps buying them.
Also, how funny is it that they had to put a chain on a pen?
I know, right?
Like, who
These
thought?
dirty little bastards. Look at him.
I always wanted a chain wallet when I was in junior high because the burnouts had them. It looked cool. I never got one.
Oh,
never.
yeah.
I those chain wallets that link
Yeah.
in there. I always wanted one of those. But a chain pen, there's nothing cool about it.
No, not at all.
I was like, God.
What's cool is that you get to keep your pen.
I
This is
guess.
cool.
Yeah. And then you always wanted to go a little further and the chain wouldn't reach. You had to move over. If someone was there, you couldn't use the pen until they were done.
That was awkward.
It's like-
When they start helping the next person and you're
Yeah.
trying to sign, you're like, excuse me. You bend over to say, I'm so sorry. You can see over my head, right?
Like,
if I just do it like
God, I should have done yoga today. I can't make this.
That's the only issue with the chain pens is they need to be like those leashes that you can release a little more. I shouldn't just be able to walk to the side. I should get a little more chain when I'm in the way.
Yeah, a little more. Just give me a little
That's
bit
all
more.
I'm asking for.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We're sorry to say that a world record that was attempted over the weekend did not happen. And we always love announcing, some kind of special new world record. Oh, there's so many of them out there. And
Not everything needs to be a world record, though.
You're not going to like this one.
Oh. It's a bad start, Brian.
So in Kyle, Texas, they tried to get a world record of Guinness Book of World Records of how many people can fit in one place with the same name. And they wanted people named Kyle to all show up in Kyle, Texas, and then break the record. Now, they had 706 Kyles show up. And that wasn't enough for a world record, which seems incredible.
So you could just do this with every name so I could do a Kenzie record somewhere?
You could.
Okay.
In fact, maybe we should. I wonder how many people would, because Casey's girlfriend is named Mackenzie, and I don't think she goes by Kenzie, but could she help out and just say she goes by Kenzie to be a part of this? You have to go by Kenzie specifically?
What if this guy, I'm sure a Kyleford wouldn't have counted.
A what name, Kenzie?
Kyleford.
How many Kylefords do you know?
Well, not many, but I'm trying to think of like.
You don't know one. Come on. There's not one Kyleford out there.
You don't know me, Brian. How dare you?
You have a whole bunch of Kylefords in your phone.
I know a few Kylefords.
Give me your phone right now. We'll look up Kyleford.
Stay on my phone.
I don't even think you know a Kyle, let alone a Kyleford.
I don't know if I know a Kyle.
Do a search in your contacts real quick.
Rittenhouse? Not in person, though. I just heard a lot about him.
Woo! Okay.
That's the first Kyle that comes to mind. Is that bad?
He's not your cousin?
No. Nope.
So they failed this record, sadly, with 706 because the record is a town in Bosnia that had people named Ivan get together in 2017, and they got 2,325 Ivans to show
But that's
up.
an Ivan. How does Kyle? These are Kyles. It's a different world record.
It's only about people with the same name showing up in the same spot.
Oh, so you can't just do it for every name?
They just happen to be in Kyle, Texas, and that's where they got the idea to do it
Does
from.
it count as one if you're in Kyle, Texas?
Does the city count as one?
Yeah, one on the board, baby.
I don't think so.
Suck on that.
It may have, but they were still 1,600 people short or 1,600 Kyles short because the Ivan just killing it. A lot of Bosnia people named Ivan, apparently.
Who are busy.
Yeah.
They were at pretty free schedule. All show up.
Yeah. So there you go. It's a shame they lost out on that record, but
That's a lot of effort, and then to lose kind of sucks.
yeah.
Now you just got together for no reason. Like, that's the crappiest story ever.
And then when they got there, they're like, they start talking. And oh, what's your name, man? Oh, yeah, I got it. Kyle. That's right. Sorry.
No,
I
how
we're all Kyle.
many mean texts were sent to other Kyles? Like, you son of a bitch, you said you were gonna make it. We would never have organized this if you committed and didn't come.
Yeah. Pulled up in your driveway. I honked. You didn't come out.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Think about how sad the visual of 700 Kyles leaving a park is, knowing that they didn't complete the Guinness World Record.
Yeah.
They've got their wagons and their coolers and their snacks, and they've all got to go back to the car without a Guinness World Record.
Well, it is sad because there's a picture of them, and there is like a whole part of the park. Like there's almost a stage set up. It's kind of like, like Lollapalooza at the end, the traveling festival at the end wasn't doing so well when it was in Tinley Park. And there's some people in the pavilion, but nobody in the grass and everything. It's kind of like, oh, it didn't look good. Thank God it recovered nicely. But is there a name that you're biased against instantly? Because maybe Kyles are, I don't know, maybe there was just people didn't want to show up because they're embarrassed because they've been ripped on their whole life by having their name Kyle. I don't know.
Because Kyle has a bad rap. Like, Double Features might just text it in exactly what I thought when I read this story, which was, did the Kyles just chug Monster and punch holes in drywall? Because when I think of a Kyle, that's what I think of.
That's his impression of a Kyle?
Yeah, I'm very biased against Kyles. I'm very biased against the name Carter, too. I've never met a Carter that I'm a fan of, other than Jimmy Carter.
I don't know many Kyles, but I know a couple Kylies that are bitches.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kylie's not a good name.
Slightly adjacent.
Is Kylie the female version of Kyle, I guess?
Right.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be? What do you think the female version of Kyle?
I don't know.
Do you have a better one?
I don't know.
Kyla, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, Kyla. I like Kyla. I don't like Kylie, but I like Kyla.
I'll tell you what. I can't, and I'm so sorry if your name is Kylie. I want you to feel attacked. But I had a really, really bad run-in with a Kylie. She was super mean to me in school. And then I moved to Florida, and I had my own radio show, and things were going well. And she DM'd me with this long apology about making my life hell and how bad she felt.
I thought you said she was going to make it hell in Florida.
She's going to double down.
Like, I'm so sorry.
You thought you had it bad then.
I'm going to move there.
Yeah, and I was
like the
just,
Alec Baldwin voicemail.
Yeah.
but I was just like, okay, I appreciate your apology, like whatever. I mean, she was being like a forgiveness program. What are
Sure.
you, alcoholic? Whatever. Anyways, so moving on, she then goes, I would love, because obviously you have to work a lot of concerts in our jobs. She goes, I would love to come down and stay with you and support you at one of your shows.
Huh.
And I'm like, I don't think that's necessary. Like, I totally, listen, I've moved on. Don't worry about it. And then she proceeded to curse me out for being such a bitch.
For not inviting her down?
And I'm like, you really grown. I'm sorry, I'm not going to let you stay in my house, you psychopath. And now I can't like Kylie's.
Apologies again to the Kylies out there, right? That's the one experience.
Some of you are probably great people.
I'm sure.
Yeah, if you're a Kylie and you think you could win Kenzie over, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
312-591. Yeah, 312-591-8300. Any Kylies listening right
this
now?
contest. Who could be nicest to me? This is fun. How are you gonna butter me up like a turkey? That's what I'm looking for.
But only if your name is Kylie, not Kyla or
Well,
Kyle.
if anybody else wants to win me over,
No.
that's also fine,
We don't want
because
everybody calling.
My Instagram is at Kenzie K on air.
Thirsty.
I would love you to be nice to me.
Is there a name out there? Because it's funny you said Carter, because I knew two guys named Carter, but it was their last name, and one of them punched a cop.
Well, I feel like I missed some details here.
I don't need to go too deep on it, but I mean,
think last name Carter is usually awesome. Coach Carter, great movie.
well, great movie. These guys, this was their last name, and one of them knocked up four kids.
Jay-Z, super talented.
4 kids with 4 different girls. This Carter that I knew, but before he was 30.
Was it Jay-Z?
No, it was not Jay-Z. Although he may have a lot out there. And then his brother punched a cop.
Oh, his brother punched a cop. It wasn't even him.
Yeah, but he was bad. He went to jail too. The other one.
Oh.
They were good hockey players, though.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q 101.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q 101.
We talked about these Kyles going on. This Kyle gathering that didn't make the Guinness Book of World Records led to that conversation about names that you're biased against. And Dennis checked in. Dennis, ahoy, what's on your mind?
Ahoy, Mike. Everywhere I've worked, every industry, there's just too many damn Mikes.
Okay, but do the Mikes have a track record of being bad people in anywhere, or just too many of them?
Just too many. It's like even my in-law. There's two Mikes in that they have to call one Travis or not Travis, Kurt. And it's like, come on, why you gotta call him by a different name?
What's the natural nickname?
I mean, wait, I don't get it. I don't get the leap at all. So they call one Mike Travis? Why?
Because they go by their last names.
Oh, okay.
Because, Mike just showed up. Well, which Mike? Oh, really? It's like, come on. And
Throws his
then
drink in their face because they show up.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q 101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Time for Head to Headlines, where you decide the content of the show based on the headline alone. So we're going to give you a couple headlines, and you find one story intriguing, you text that headline number. So headline number 1 or headline number 2 to 312-591-8300. Wait till we give you the headlines, because you really got to think on this one. We will never talk about the other story again. It's not chosen. So here we go. Headline number 1. Someone has been throwing canned food off a Portland high-rise for weeks, endangering those below.
Oh, God.
Are they trying to help people? Are there people out there who are hungry?
You want this food? You all want my tax money? Here, take this Campbell's soup.
I can't even do anything nice anymore. I'm like lightly tossing food to people, and I'm in trouble.
Good Lord. That's headline number 1. If you want to hear more on that story, text in. Headline number 2. Woman discovers husband is cheating on her after puppy swallows his mistress's thong.
Oh my gosh. No, wait. That's a scene from a movie.
It is?
Strays, the movie came out where Will Ferrell's a dog.
I don't know that movie.
Missed that one.
I went and saw it in theaters because I thought it would be a lot funnier than it was. I gotta be honest.
Wait, this movie came out like last year?
Yeah, and it was graphic. I was not ready. I was not prepared for how graphic. It makes American Pie something I would show my 10-year-old.
Really?
It was so graphic, and I'm like, it's just dogs. Like, I wasn't ready. But
is it animated or real dogs like talking like in the movie where the babies
real
talk?
dogs talking.
Wow.
Yeah, and in that movie, because his owner just treats him like crap, but he thinks he's a nice guy because like dogs think everybody's nice. It's one of those things.
Sure.
He runs in the room with a thong, and the girlfriend breaks up with the guy because the dog thinks it's like a chew toy. He's all excited.
Well, it's got Will Ferrell, Sofia Vergara, Jamie Foxx,
I know.
Isla Fisher, who was Gloria in Wedding Crashers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen's ex-wife.
Yeah. That's a good cast. That
Oh,
is quite-
ex-wife. They broke up.
They got divorced a few months ago.
Oh no.
I know.
was
I
rooting
really
for them.
liked them.
I know.
I know. No, it's hard to stay together.
I hate that.
Hard to stay together.
True love is a myth.
No, let's not get carried away. Jesus.
Nothing's real.
Wow, this movie also had Dennis Quaid and Mark Wahlberg.
It was a huge cast.
I mean, there's a
You
lot.
have no idea how excited I was to see this movie. I thought it was going to be like the new Superman.
I've never even heard of it.
What?
Brian, did you hear of this movie?
I don't remember seeing a trailer for this.
I literally went the day it came out. I was so excited.
Good Lord.
Was it Lord of the Rings?
I was just, because I was so ready to see a super funny movie again. And
Yeah.
it was okay.
Yeah, okay. Strays, if you want to go take a chance on that one.
Don't watch it near anybody you're uncomfortable around. It is the most inappropriate thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
So real quick, the headlines again, real quick. Headline number 1, someone's been throwing canned food off Portland high-rise for weeks, endangering those below. That's headline 1. And headline 2 is, woman discovers husband is cheating on her after puppy swallows his mistress's thong. That's not from the movie Strays. That's a real story. Text in whichever one you want to hear us break down, whichever story you want to hear more about. We'll never talk about the other story again. After the cranberries, we'll get into it. You decide the content. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Head to headlines. You decide the content based on the headlines alone. We'll have the results in a second here. But basically, these were the 2 headlines you chose from to hear more about. And the other story we'll never talk about again. Choose wisely. Headline number 1 was, someone has been throwing canned food off a Portland high-rise for weeks, endangering those below. Boy, this got more numbers than I thought in the voting. A lot of people want to know what's going on with the people throwing canned food off the high-rise. Headline number 2 was, woman discovers husband is cheating on her after puppy swallows his mistress's thong. Now, that one won, but I do want to give credit to that other story. Boy, a lot of people want to know why this guy was, or person or woman was throwing canned food off the high-rise, but we'll never talk about it. Sorry.
So, thanks, Brian. Well, too bad.
Sorry.
Well, you thought it was going to be more of a 1 to 16 seed matchup like in March Madness.
I
but it ended up
really
being pretty
did.
Close,
I
yeah.
thought the thong story was going to win by a landslide. It'd be easy, but this one's really close.
But thank goodness the thong story won.
Thank goodness. And here we go. A woman discovers husband is cheating on her after a puppy swallows his mistress's thong. A woman uncovered her husband's illicit affair in a truly eye-popping fashion as their poor puppy ingested his mistress's thong with dangerous consequences. So an emergency trip to the vet resulted in this situation as the dog got really sick, seriously ill when he arrived. X-rays showed an obstruction in his poor little tummy. Okay, the poor dog's little tummy. I know. So when they arrived, they did surgery because they couldn't tell what it was from the X-ray.
They're like, there's no way that's cheetah print.
Or I just imagine the ones, like, for it to cause that much of a tummy problem, I just imagine the one with gemstones on it.
Oh, God.
Little rhinestones.
Do they make that?
Yeah, like a little heart in the corner with, like, rhinestones on it or something.
Oh.
When you say the corner, that's the top of the tooth.
Or, like, where your hip is.
The floss. Oh,
no,
on the hip.
like on the hip.
Oh.
Floss.
Like a piece of mail. It's like that's where the stamp goes.
I got it.
Like a heart.
I thought it'd be the top of the crack going up.
Top of the crack.
You know, like the dental floss that goes up and then attaches
How
to the
would you
top.
do it there? You could do a shape or anything.
I don't know. I just thought I've never
Very
seen
small.
one.
There's not a lot of room.
I've never seen a bedazzled thong. And I'm sorry in my life I've never seen
Wow,
that.
both of you guys haven't seen one?
No.
Huh.
No.
Wow. I don't know what
You're
this
shocked
says.
by that?
Yeah,
That say
kind
something?
of.
Okay, has any other listener seen a bedazzled thong?
Well, there's little rhinestones on them sometimes, not all the time.
Interesting.
Those are usually, I mean, maybe this answers it. Those are usually the ones you wear when you expect someone to see it.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why neither of you have seen one.
I thought you were
No
going to
one
say.
ever thought this night's going to end with them seeing me naked. For sure, that's not going to happen.
This is just me getting some dinner
Yeah.
on Bumble.
Oh, girls
Yeah.
gotta eat.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
know, a Capitol Grill over here.
Yeah. Oh, God, don't bring that up ever.
Your worst date ever.
Worst date ever.
Didn't
Just,
see a bedazzled thong at the end of that, did you?
no.
Kinsey, can you bring it up a dazzled thong for show and tell?
No, I'm not bringing in one of my thongs.
Are you sure?
You don't want to think about it?
Let me ask again.
No.
I don't think that's appropriate.
Oh, boy. So, according to the vet, the puppy was very sick. Again, they saw the obstruction. They went in and did surgery to figure out what was going on. And the dog could have died, by the way. But the they did find a thong, and the owner came in and said, "A thong?" This is the woman owned the dog. "I don't have a thong. I've never had thongs. Never owned a
bummer.
thong." I know.
None?
Well, I guess certainly not a bedazzled thong.
I would have had so many more questions as the vet. I'm like, really?
Are there? The question, Kenzie, do you think is it 50% more wear thongs? What's the over-under on women that wear thongs to just
I would say a lot too, because this is something men don't have to think about, but you get lines on certain stuff as a girl.
Yeah.
So like your leggings or certain dresses, like you can't wear like the boxer shorts or something like the little boy, but like you can't wear that in a lot of stuff because you'd see it.
Right.
You know?
Is it comfortable?
I think they're comfortable. I'm sure some people don't, but like,
Yeah.
I
think
dated a girl for 2 years who never wore thongs. Didn't own one.
what'd she wear?
Just like a
Grandma panties?
like in between, like a cheeky Victoria's Secret, like hybrid, like mid coverage panty.
Yeah,
You saying the word cheeky is disturbing.
Mid coverage just sounds boring, doesn't it?
Well, she was very
Mid coverage. I work in a library. No, so I think if you think a thong's uncomfortable, I think that you probably just have the wrong size. Because you wear it really tight, it's gonna hurt.
Yep.
You get the right size. It's like there's not much there to cause pain.
But you can't have a baggy thong.
It's not gonna bag. It's not gonna bag and tag, maybe.
It's just like hanging like a swing in between your legs.
It would just fall off. That wouldn't be the only big part. It doesn't stay the same on the hips, and they just grow in that region. Why would it just hang like that?
Do they stretch out? Do they lose their elasticity like sometimes my boxer briefs do? Does a thong just all of a sudden just get loose?
Yeah, when do you know it's time to retire a thong?
Because they don't look cute anymore. Like it's counterproductive to wear an ugly thong.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I gotta feel good about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to put it on like this. Like you can't do it. It's gotta go.
Hanging in the rafters after it's done.
It's
Right.
just it's on its time.
You had a few good date nights with that.
Like it's a jersey?
Yeah, exactly. It's
Like
just
if the rhinestones start coming off, now it's just embarrassing.
Yeah,
That's just
exactly.
tacky.
In the same way the Blackhawks have all their banners up in the rafters at the UC, Kenzie's got a few thongs lined up on her house.
I don't hang them up.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Why? What is wrong with you guys?
The trophies,
How is that? It's underwear.
They can be anything we want.
Oh my gosh.
The doctor, to close this out, said the puppy was obviously in the thong place at the right time.
That's fun.
Thanks, Doc.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.